Welcome to MyWebUniversity.com. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to learn Linux shell scripting online. And you're going to be using MyWebUniversity.com. And my name is Wahid Lutfi. I'm going to be your host, and I'm going to be presenting you this video. I'd like you to learn a lot from command lines, as well as shell scripting, as well as programming languages. And I have brought you these courses, whether it's long video or short video, on my website, on my YouTube channels. And I will also later on provide you certificate of completion when you complete these courses. But at this time, you can see I have a student name, which will be changed to your name. At this time, don't make copies of this certificate and say that I have already completed it and just replace your name. Don't do that, because I have officially will have this certificates available for those of you that take the course, complete it, and then pass it. Once you complete the course, I'll have it your name inserted into my database. So if someone at a job interview calls you and asks you a question, when you are able to answer those questions, if they ask me saying that yes, this course was passed by him, I will definitely give a good reference. But if your name is not in my database, I will not help you at that time. That would be on you. That's going to be unethical that you present a certificate for it and that you didn't learn. So please don't do that. So I'm going to just show you a lot more today on this one. So let's go to the topic of. So let me show you what I have on my Web University website. My Web University is a secure website. As you know, I have been providing you online courses on Linux, Red Hat, Python, PowerShell, Windows, Red Hat, and Linux Ubuntu, Linux Rocky, a lot of different PDF versions and a lot of documentation. And this course is basically teaching you a lot of stuff, as well as shell scripting. So as you can see on my Web University, I have videos in English, which is this channel that I'm just right now making you a video. And I have about 2,000 videos that is teaching you computer science and IT and DevOps courses, which is going to help you college level courses. You don't have to pay anything. That's the most important thing about what I'm providing you for free. And at the same time, you're also having technical documentation available on my website, which I will show you later, with hundreds of thousands of technical documentation. And you might have seen it on my other videos. I claim that with this PDF documentation, you can get the entire internet at your fingertips. And I have shown you that information. So all it is that you could run any Linux commands on a browser using my website and this one and practice it. So let me show you, for example, what you need to learn for this course. For this course, if you come in at mywebuniversity.com, click the direct path to Linux Ubuntu. This is my online book, which I have provided for free. It has 15 chapters. All of the chapters are going to help you from A to Z on Linux, Python, PowerShell, C, C++, Bash scripting, ZSH scripting, Windows subsystem, everything that you need to know in computer science and IT related courses. It is covered on these ones. For example, if you go to chapter 2, the basic of Linux, it's made on this chapter. Basically, 33 commands, and each command is explained with videos as well as the command section. And if you go to, for example, the cal for calendar, you could see the what is section, which says display a calendar for cal command. The examples, there's about 10 examples here. the PDF version of the manual pages and the HTML version. For example, if you click on the first command, cal, it will run the cal command, calendar command or cal, and then give you the output for January 2026. This is all dynamic. So if you just do, for example, give me calendar of 9070, the full year, you will get that information. Similarly, if you look at like calendar dash B5 saying before January 5 months, and that's how, and that dash B5. If you change that one to after dash 5, that means January, February up to June is going to be displayed. And if you just say show me only 2 months, you could do that one, or you could just say show me calendar of 1 plus 9070. That is, this plus is replacing the query string with the spaces. So on the actual command that run on my Linux web server, it ran the cal minus 1, cal 19070, meaning that show me the January 1st. If I just change this one to a date command, you can see that it is showing you current date. Timestamp is as of now. And if I just zoom in to that one, you can see it is there. Now, if I just refresh that one, notice that this date is 11:08 minute and 08, 22.11. Now, if I refresh it, 11:30. Every time you refresh it, it's dynamically gets updated. Notice 34. Now, if I refresh it again, 38. Every time you refresh it, the time based on how soon you refresh it, it's getting changed, which means it runs the command dynamically. So if I do ls plus dash l and then show the long listing, or another command like df dash h. So right now I'm showing you df, when I type in the df right here, df, because the query string has to do it correctly, you have to do it that way. I did not put the plus, so that is a syntax error in terms of like query string parsing it to this output, then it will not work. That's why this error will show up. But at the same time, if you just type it correctly, it will do it. So this is just chapter 2, as I showed you here. So if I go back to MyWebUniversity.com and click on the direct path to Linux Ubuntu, I told you that you learn everything. So chapter 2 is basic. You could practice that one. Chapter 3 is intermediate Linux commands. That's also 33 commands. Some of commands like alias. I'm not going to just practice every command here. So some of the commands that you have to practice it yourself on a virtual machine or Amazon Web Services or a Docker or Linux VirtualBox or VMware, you could run these commands and it would work. But I'm also showing you examples here for commands that I'm not running it on my server, because I don't want to create every command here. At the same time, some documentation like change group. For example, if you look at this one, the change group, I gave you like a book kind of documentation, similarly to change mode. So notice the change mode, all of the UMask and everything, read, write, execute, the octet numbers, all of that one, or explain the UMask stuff, how it gets converted right there. So you could see that it is in a very nice format. At the same time, for some of these commands, for example, you're saying, how do I do df? Df is a command that I could say, what is df? Report file system disk space usage. And then you can see here for this command, there's different variation of df command. I explained, and then you could also practice examples. df-h for human readable, df-k for kilobytes, information, and so on. All of the file system, like a -hf extended, h is human readable, This is F for a file system, extended for file system. So you can see that these are extended for file system. You can see it, but the nice thing is for every command, you can do it. I also write you on the fly a PDF version of the technical documentation. So this is my website generating the PDF file automatically as soon as you type in the command that. And it tells you exactly what DF command is very nicely. At the same time, if you just needed an HTML version, I generate the HTML version here. So the HTML version is also provided you here. You can do, for example, we showed you date command. You could just say date and it will just give you date command. You say PWD command and it will generate it. You say calendar command, it will just show. Every command that you search is dynamically, I will just give you the command. At the same time, on the main page here, like if you just went here, look for the df command and you say, okay, this is great, I got the df command. Can I get similar idea that I did here? Yes, whatever command I print you here, you type in df here or you type in at the search, say date command, and then I generate you the date command in a PDF format right there. And as long as the command is available on the Linux system, I'll generate you a PDF version. So let's say, for example, you're looking for a programming language like Python, and that is not a command, it's a programming language interpreter. I generate you the PDF version. Earlier, I mentioned that the whole thing, internet is at your fingertips. What I meant was like, okay, I give you this 7-page PDF file on Python, but then you say, what is code reusability that you did with object-oriented programming, writing that Python program to generate this PDF file for me? How do you just actually help me? So let me show you. If you're a student and you don't have to buy books on Python, and this is kind of like poor man way that I did it myself, and I just learned it from manual pages. So you come in here, there's a lot of URLs here, right? You could also do a Control F and search for HTTPS. So wherever is HTTPS as reference, notice that the hand symbol shows that it is, this hyperlink is clickable, meaning that I made my code reusability when I generated this one. Wherever there was a URL, I made it like a hyperlink, so you can click on it. And this one would be go to the python.org PSF. So if you click next, you can see it here. And then let's say you want to go to python.org, you just click on it, now you're in python.org. Obviously, you can go inside there, docs and other ones. You can just go to downloads and everything that you want, that's at your fingertips. But at the same time, if you just say Control F, HTTPS, and you're interested in directly go to dev guide or python.org download, you can click on this one. So let's say I go to docs.python.org, it takes me to python.org/3, which is version 3 of the documentation. And then here I could go to tutorials and start learning everything. So if I just say, what is the for statement or if statement or break statement, else, all of that one pass, how do you create a class and how do you pass the line? All of that one is syntax is given to you. It's very, very easy. And you can practice it online. At the same time, what is nice about this programming language, like I could say, give me the ZSH for shell scripting. The whole ZSH scripting is here. You can get everything here. So notice this is 5 pages. Again, you type in HTTPS. Then I take you to zsh.org. And then from there, if you just remove this tab out here, obviously there's another URL that is there, but this is much nicer, zsh.org. Now zsh.org is up. You could say go to United States, for example, and then look at the manual documentation. And right here, you could see HTML version. If you want to see HTML version, download or a PDF version to do that one. So PDF version is like 480 pages long. And then here also you can do like Control F and say for each, and then the syntax of for each is there, and the for loop is there, for if statement is there, while statement is there. So it's so easy to learn programming. When you learn the command line on chapter 2 and chapter 3 and chapter 4, then you're going to learn this looping. You're learning how to write a function, how to write subroutine to just do different tasks in sequence, how to call functions, how to start the program, how to do like if statement, case statement, while statement, for loop, for each. All of that one is going to be very, very easy. So, and then just go to here. Again, if you're just looking for another one like on manual pages, you could just come and say, give me the manual pages for bash, born again shell. Notice I just generate you the bash.pdf here, and that's only 87 pages here. So if you just are looking for a for loop, and then you just look for loop maybe, and then yeah, right here for loop as this. So some of them you could also do the commands as well you see it. Like for example, while statement. Every time you just search for it, then the function that is here, until loop, if statement, most likely for is also there. Yeah, for here, and then do that, and then the same thing. Depending on what shell you're using for each and for and while and all of that. So this is very nice. At the same time, if I say HTTPS, there's none here. So, but if you're looking for like GCC kind of programming, let's say you search for this one, and then I generate you the GCC. Notice this is a GNU-C collection compiler. This by itself is 399 pages. So all of the for statement, while statement include the standard IO, everything that is there that you have been programming at the school and at work, you are going to see those ones. At the same time, Control F, like open MPI, you can see the links on those ones. At the same time, like open ACC, those ones are there as well. So for like supercomputing environment, those compilers and interpreters and things that are available for you, you could search for it. HTTPS, notice that gcc.gnu.org is there, and then C99 status.html. So if I click on this one, it's going to take me to gnu.org website, and I can see all the standards for GCC. It is a lot of information, hundreds of thousands documentation, all at your fingertips, and you can go to the internet and find out millions of information by just visiting MyWebUniversity.com. And actually, if you click on this one, chapter 12 of my book, it says the dynamic generation of Linux, Ubuntu, manual pages, and PDF. So if you click on this one, then you're going to be given the option to just run any command, like I just showed you some of them. Like for example, you say, I'm going to program in Ruby, then I just generate you a PDF file for Ruby. From there, you could search for Control F, HTTPS, and then search for the Ruby, so 2 of 6, and then say rubylang.org, and then that's on Ruby website. And now you're happy to learn programming the Ruby way, and then you're just ready. I mean, you don't have to buy books, go to docs. Thousands of technical documentations are available. Similarly, if you just say, I'm a Perl programmer, Wahid, can you show me how to get all the manual pages? Yeah, just type in Perl here. I'll generate you the Perl technical documentation that's on Linux Ubuntu already. And this is about 7 pages. At the same time, do a Control F, HTTPS, and then right here, perl.org. Now you're on perl.org website. And then from here, if you go to, like, for example, docs, you just go to the docs page. And then let's see why this page did not bring any, some of the pictures are not showing up for some reason. Maybe it needs to be updated. Some of this are showing as off. Maybe some of their storage sites are down for images, but if you go like right here, look for Node.js, for example. If you're writing Node.js code, and then you just search for that, and I generate your node. This is again 12 pages, but you go Control F, HTTPS, search for it, and then look for on the nodejs.org website, and right here, nodejs.org, and now you're in nodejs.org. And then you can come in documents and then read about everything. So if you're like a person working on HTTP or HTTPS, you could work on those modules. If you're looking on DNS or DCP stuff, all the functions that are on DNS are here. So each one of them you click on, you get more information for that function and how to use it. Similarly for OS module, if you just do OS module, you just come in here, notice C++ add-on buffers and all of this. So that for Node, you can do many of the net and OS. And then on OS, you can see like os.architecture, it shows you that. Depending on what platform, you could actually use these ones I showed you on previous videos. I'm not going to repeat that one because I have to cover a lot more on Linux side. So I showed you chapter 12. I'm going to show you in chapter 3 more. On chapter 3, the right path to Linux Ubuntu. You're right here, and then this one, I present you all these commands at the same time, give you examples for them so you can practice, and give you manual pages on each one of them. And then as you go through them, you can also watch these videos that I explain each one of those commands and details. At the same time, if you need more technical documentation, just click here. Notice that for all PDF files, I have generated about 12,000 for Red Hat 9.2, Rocky 11,000. And then they're right here documented. So for Rocky, for Red Hat is 12,000 something, and then Rocky is 11,492, Linux Ubuntu is 6,082. Each one of them, when you click on it, you will see these documentation. So whether you click on this Red Hat here, 9.2, or you click here with the number, and you'll see the PDF files right here. All programmed by section. Section 1 through 9. So if you're interested in system administrative level, click on section 8. And then a lot of the commands are there. For example, on this one, you might be looking for yum, and then you search for yum, and yum related stuff are there, right? And then 107, so just keep looking for till you see yum, the core or yum.8 right here. Yum.8 is replaced to DNF, and DNF is explained here. So that is why it is available. And then all the syntax, everything here. And if you're just interested for system CTL, do Control F system CTL, and then right there system CTL, that is available for you in a PDF format. And notice that on my PDF generation programming, I used free PDF library, which is a Python library that you import and install using pip. And then I also program it in Python. And then I looked at the user share man pages that for this one was 11,000 something at the time of installation and installing all the applications. So whatever application I was running, there was manual pages on it. Then I read that manual pages as a text file, which is an open source kind of free, available for all of us to just collaborate and continue providing better kind of data an output for the end users. So I just generated that one, and I gave credit to MyWebUniversity, which is my website that I just have been hosting it. I pay for the certificate, HTTPS, I pay for the network, I pay for the storage, I pay for the site, everything, and then I just do this one all for free for you. I hope you subscribe to our channel to support this good cause, to support those of students that they cannot go to college because of expensive tuition, or they cannot get boot camp. I'm doing all of this IT and DevOps training that I learned over 36 years of my life. And I have 2 degrees, computer science degrees, bachelor and master. I have worked 36 years at big prestige companies, and I have learned a lot, and I'm providing all of that one for you to just help you and your families and friends, so you can have a job and enhance your career and support yourself and your family and do good at our communities. By doing this kind of knowledge sharing, we all could contribute to the community, and we all help each other, and everybody is going to be happy. So when you do this one, like you can see all of the technical documentation, notice that this one is on Red Hat. And I mentioned that I did this one for Red Hat, for Rocky, and for other ones. So if any of these sections interest you, just go to that section and practice it there. At the same time, like this one is for Rocky Linux 9.2. Notice that this one is Red Hat 9.2 latest release, which is very good, that you can use those ones and then practice it. So any of them, when you click on it, I just generate you the PDF file. Add queue as one of the command for add to check out the contents of the queue. And then this one basically at bad jobs and at ORM is queue and so on. All of that one is for batch scripting, like add and cron jobs on Linux, or allowing you to do that. Add is a command that you can do at some time, at a specific time, at now, or at now plus 2 minutes, and so on. And you can run the jobs, and cron jobs, you specifically run the cron to back up your system, to run a certain application. With shell scripting, you're going to learn a lot of these tools, how to do it, and I'm the person to help you no matter which system you work on, Red Hat, Rocky, Ubuntu, Unix, Solaris. I used to be in 2003 Solaris certified enterprise system admin. I have mentored a lot of system administrator people at different prestige companies. I have trained people, senior level, intermediate level, and junior level, all of that. I have taught classes at universities part-time, more than 8 years while I was working full-time. So I'm your person to help you out no matter which system you're working on. And then this is for Ubuntu, for example. On Ubuntu, you can see when you're looking for a command, like let's say I'm searching here for a command like pwdx, print working directory of executable. That's similar to pwd, but it shows you for the process. And our print working directory of execute, report current working directory of a process. A process in this case is a system D, is process ID 1. So you gave the process ID 1 PWX, and it will tell you where it was started. Similarly, like PS3, it would show you. These are commands called from proc file system, which is pseudo file system. And then based on the pseudo file system, the PWD, S3, PMAP, a lot of them pwait, pstop, prun, all of those ones are proc file system. Solaris was very nice with a command that was called preap. Preap would allow you to get rid of zombie processes. Zombie processes are in the system, and they become first defunct and then later on become zombie, and it's really hard to track them down unless you find out the culprit process, which is the parent process that become a zombie. it is not easy to just get rid of them. Sometimes it's too late, especially on Linux platform. On Solaris pre-reap, you could identify them and will kill it. On the Linux init and system D could help you because they become the parent of the orphan child process, and then you can just identify them with the lsof command, with the other commands, of user, and then a lot of other system admin activity that you do depending on which platform you're working on. And I have done it for years, so it's very easy for me to identify those culprit process. But junior and intermediate level, usually they don't know those process. And the way you do it is by learning this proc file system and how to do it with the scripting, interactive shell scripting, awk and set, and while read vars, kind of pass parameters, those ones, it's much faster, much easier for you. So notice that everything that you open here, the Linux Ubuntu, I'm giving credit in this one. And then at the same time, MyWebUniversity, Python, and PDF. And then for all of the commands, I also maintain the licensing information. If there was anything on it, I maintain that one as well. So at the bottom of the license file, in addition to attributing it at the front of the PDF file. And then this page, like I told you, I'm also doing PowerShell for those of you learning PWSH. PowerShell also is starting with version 6 and 7. They allow you to run PowerShell on Linux platform, whether it's Red Hat or Ubuntu. They have RPM or packages that you can install. And I have done some videos for you. You're welcome to go to MyWebUniversity YouTube channel and look for those ones and learn from it. It's a lot of stuff in that later date. I might just give you more details. The reason I'm talking about this one in a little bit more detail, because I have done a lot of stuff here. Okay, sorry, PowerShell. If you just open like, let's say, do a git dash process, and then you click on open PDF, now you can see I'm giving credit to Microsoft Windows open source version of PowerShell. And then that technical documentation was available, and then I was able to generate from the same documentation a PDF version for the community to help everybody out. You're welcome to just learn from it. And you can also go to Microsoft website. They also have this documentation for free available online that you can learn it. And then also, if you're interested in just learning Windows help, that's about 88 command. That's very easy. You could just look at them. You know, like associate command, associate some files to some directory. So the extension of the file with some file, whether it's .py or .ps1. That's how you associate saying this file is this format. And you can also on this one, you can see audio version. So if you just click on this one and you want to learn the associate command here, it reads it for you here.
Displays or modifies file extension associations ASSOC .x equals file type. .x specifies the file extension to associate the file type with file type specifies the file type to associate with the file extension type ASSOC without parameters to display the current file associations. If ASSOC is invoked with just a file extension, it displays.
So I stopped that you got the point, and it's just the same thing for all of these commands. You could just go on the audio for attrib command and let it run and just read it for you like this.
Displays or changes file attribute.
So I'm going to stop it because a lot of those flags is gonna just make it more robotic. I don't want to sound robotic when I teach you in person. I want to make sure that you understand why I'm making all these things for you available for free. So you're welcome to learn from these chapters. So this is chapter 3. If you click next here, you will go to chapter 4. Chapter 3 was intermediate, and chapter 4 is advanced Unix and Linux commands. I said Unix because at some point we started back in 1969 on Unix, and a lot of these commands like grep and sed and awk and other ones were already GNU or Unix tools or utilities, right? So then you can just add on to Linux and just add a specific command to it. Some of them might be like ADB for Solaris platform, GCC is for GNU on Solaris and Linux and all the other type, and MDB for a module debugger, and then maybe GDB for GNU debugger. All of that one is available. So if you're looking for like something like that for like GNU debugger, notice that I give you a little bit of this GDB, the GNU debugger, and then I said, go ahead and get the manual pages and PDF format on it. So then you could just click on here and I give you the GDB and manual pages, you can read it. Because some of this information is almost impossible to just make it available for you to practice GDB kind of task on it. So for those ones like systemd, even though systemd, I could click on it to just show you Apache version or SSH version and other ones. At the same time, you could just get the manual pages and PDF format and read the information here. So some of the commands are available for you, some of them are not, and then if it's not available for the purpose of command line syntax, I may just say this is not authorized, because that command, I don't want somebody to run systemd command on my server. Or LSOF, for example, list of open files. Yeah, I give you an optional LSOF -P, and then LSOF and LSOF -I interface 80, and then the P for process and -I port 443, which is HTTPS. You can get those ones. At the same time here, manual pages or HTML pages of LSOF, you could get everything here. If you wanted a PDF version, I just generated PDF version. And then once you learn the PDF version, you can just practice it on any command line you have. So chapter 8, I also have for every row one video. So row 1 would be this video. Row 2 would be this video. Row number 8 of 8 would be in the last video right here, 8 of 8. And then this one is going to just help you a lot for learning advanced level. And notice that I taught you on chapter 2 basic Linux level, chapter 3 intermediate, chapter 4 advanced level. So if you move forward to chapter 5, then I'm teaching you in sequence. So this is shell scripting, which is this video that I'm going to cover right now. And the reason I went with too much detail on chapter 2, 3, 4, 5 is to tell you that if you want to learn shell scripting, you better start learning the operating system command line first. If you don't learn the command line, you don't know what's the pwd do, what's the host name do, what does this command do, what's that command do, you're not going to be able to write a script inside a looping or function or anything, even though you are memorizing those commands to say, I know how a for statement works. You could see, for example, this is a for each statement. Notice that the for each, I'm giving you here the actual code that I wrote. It says run the user bin env C shell, meaning that this binary env runs and then loads the C shell interpreter. From this line on, every command is interpreted based on the C shell syntax. Meaning, like if I have purpose, then I have to have a pound, because purpose is not a command or anything. So anything that you write in pure English, it's a pound in front of it. That means it's commented. It is ignored by the C shell interpreter. So this pound author Wahid Lutfi is another comment. The copyright is another comment. Print list of sports is another comment. All these 3, 4, 5 lines 4 lines or common. The first one, it has a pound, but it has a bang in front of it. This is on Linux and Unix is called shebang. Shebang is a syntax tells the Bash scripting or C shell scripting or ZSH or Python or Ruby or Perl that says that after this env syntax, find out where C shell is installed on this machine. And wherever it is installed, whether it's on the user bin C shell or /bin C shell, find it for me by this environment binary. This environment binary is very much more dynamic. That means if you type in Perl here, if you have Perl 2.2 as Perl or Perl 3, you have to type in Perl 3. You don't have to type in the location, the which command, which user bin Perl. So you don't have to do that. Like when you do which Perl or which Python or which version of, sorry, I meant Python and I was saying Perl. So if you say you have Python 3, and they say which Python 3, it will say user bin Python. And right away, you know that that's the path. But by doing this environment, you don't have to hard code it, say shebang user bin Python 3. You just say user bin env and then Python 3, and Python 3 will find it. User bin env bash, it will find bash. User bin env Ruby, user bin env Perl, Python, any name that you type in, if that interpreter is there, it will load it for you. This shebang is very useful. Then you actually have here a for each statement. Notice the for each statement on the C shell, the way it works is a for each, and then you have a variable called sports. And between this left parenthesis and right parenthesis, you have an array of list of strings. So it says for each sport, soccer, football, swimming, running, basketball, handball, tennis, and volleyball, for all of them, go in a loop, echo the name of the sport. This $ sport reads this variable called sport, and $ sports interpolate, and then it just gets the value of it from this list. And each one, it traverses to the first one, say soccer, football, swimming, then it prints them. And then this end is going to end this for each loop. Notice the syntax of C shell, it doesn't have a begin, it just has an end. So that's the syntax you have to understand and learn it. Similarly here, print a list of characters. So in this case, we are writing characters in uppercase, lowercase, and numbers. So I'm going to say for each CH, meaning that the character could be A through F uppercase, or A through F lowercase, or 1 through 5. So print each character, and then it's going to finish. Then I'm doing another loop here, again for each loop. So this example is the for each on the C shell syntax, that's why it's called that. And then here you could just say for each apple, banana, grape, orange, pear, and do echo and then fruits. So these are the array of fruits, and you're printing it. So if I just go back here and say, great, this is good, and now can I cat the content of that script? And notice that I'm showing you cat. On this example, I'm saying cat, but actually I had to write a program so to just display this one with the show command. So I just don't use the cat command in this case. Although my other commands, I do show you. So there are programming skills that you do with Python, with C, C++, and shell scripting, PowerShell, to just say, okay, make sure that the security is not compromised. With that 36 years, I have done a lot of security, cybersecurity stuff, with a lot of coding, a lot of programming, a lot of vulnerability detection, correction, and other things. Now I know like how to make sure that your SQL injection or kind of OS level injection is not compromising my system. So all of those ones, what I allow, what I don't allow, I'm going to show you on these ones. So if you take these courses with PowerShell, I can guarantee you that you will be mastering it. And then if you master it, you could do a lot of jobs. And imagine this, my web university, the whole website, I have built it using a combination of Python script and Bash scripting, JavaScript, React, Node.js, and notice that all of these technical documentation that I'm showing you here. For example, if you look at the chapter manual pages and PDF on chapter 8, let's say, this entire page, index.html, I'm running a Bash script to generate this thousands of technical documentation with this nice format and CSS and everything. Similarly for the other chapters. So each chapter that you do, all these buttons that you create, you tell somebody that I did it in Bash scripting with C Shell and with Bash scripting with maybe JavaScript and Node.js and other CSS and other ones, they might be like, really? But yeah, it did happen there. So like here, chapter 12, Linux Ubuntu, you can see there's a lot of this. The whole thing is, this one is written like man to PDF. This is a Python program. And then I just, you type in the command and it just generate it. So learning scripting is going to definitely help you. Now, if I come back on chapter 5, and remember I was showing you the for each statement. Now you can also do the cat command to show the content of it. So a student can copy here, this one, and just put it on a Linux machine. Let's say I'm just right here and just go to the temp directory here and just say clear screen vim t.sh and then just paste that line. Notice that it's 20 lines, right? So if I say here cat minus n t.sh, you can see that that's the file here. And if I want it in color, I could say laugh out loud cat, and it is going to show you in a nice color. So if I just want to run that script here, notice that head minus 5 t.sh, the first 5 line is telling me these are common, but this one is the one that is important. It says C shell. So first line, if I just say cat minus n1, and sorry, cat minus 1 and t.sh. So if you do this one, it will say that is env is a binary and loading C shell. So if we see which env, you can see file user ben env on my server. This is an executable link format, 64-bit, x86 64. So that is an executable. If I do LDD on user ben env, you can see that all the symbol tables, everything, and that are mapped, the libraries that are linked to it, they are showing here at the same time. So why am I doing this one? Is because this one, if I do which C shell, is going to say user ben C shell. So my first line of the script says find C shell and then load it onto the system. So as if I do this one, user ben C shell, and that is going to take me to the C shell. So now if I just exit out of this one, since I have the t.sh as a C shell, if I just want to see if that shell is executable, no, it's not. At this time, I just created the flat file because my UMask, the way it is set, remember I was telling you that on Linux, on the change mode, it is depending on the UMask. So if UMask is saying that if the file I created, I'm going to put a pound here, so the command doesn't execute as a common, it is 777 minus UMask, which is 022. And that's going to give me 7 and then 55, right? 755 the first one is 7 and then 0, yeah. This one 755. That is for creation of a file, meaning that this permission here, this one is gonna be read write, then dash read dash, and then read. I'm sorry, read dash dash, and then read dash dash. So this is for actually this is for creation directory. For creating file, actually it is 666 minus that. Okay, 666, because this one was a regular file. As you can see here, the first one, it says is the dash, meaning that this file is a regular file. So the 666, this one is going to be 644. That meaning that this is the permission. Okay, so now the file t.sh is there. If I make a directory, say make directory test1, now I look at the test1, that one is a 755, meaning that the directory when you created is 777 minus UMask, which is 022, and that's going to give you 755, which is a read write execute, and then read dash read write execute read dash x, that's 5, and then read dash x, that would be 755. So this is how you could see the chmod instruction. I'm going to read dash x, and then that would be those information. I'm sorry, right here I have another dash x, that's it. Because this one is 5 and then 5. This is not right, and just I have more than number. I had another R here that I missed to mistyped it. Okay, so now the file is there. What does this mean? That is, this file is not executable. If I run it as like this t.sh, it's not going to run, say, permission denied. But if I say C shell dash x and then t.sh, it's going to run the command, and it's, for each line, it's going to run and give me an output. In order for me to not see that output, I could say, just do this one and then don't show me that line that it's going to run. So I said C shell. I could have said also user ben C shell, and that would also run it. But if I say which shell I'm using here, which I could say echo $ shell, and then that's bash. PS also could show that I'm on bash here. If I go to user ben C shell, now I'm on C shell. So if I say, okay, I'm C shell, and how do I know I'm C shell? If I do echo $, that's gonna show my process ID of C shell, which is the same as here, right? So that means that I can say t.sh here. If I run it again, t.sh here, it's gonna say permission denied. Why? Because this file is not executable by root and by others. So if I want to make the permission of that one, say change mode u plus x t.sh, that is the user root has executable permission on it. Now I just was able to run it, and notice that here it now says read and execute by the owner. If I want to give everybody access to execute it, I could say change mode. I could say dash other O for other, but the very easy using it at 755 is the octet. You just now have t.sh permitted by group and others to just run it. In this case, group is also root, and others is anybody there. So if I just exit out of this one, exit out of this one, and then ID here, and then now ID-UN, I'm Wahid here. So I go to temp and I say t.sh. Notice that t.sh is executable, I go run it and it gives my output of that one. But notice why it is working, t.sh. If I do cat -n t.sh, this file is t.sh. It is allowed to just read and execute by others, but also it has read and execute by other people other than root and group root, which is Wahid or XYZ user. So read, I have it, and execute, I have it. But if I want to just vim at t.sh and I say, let's say, this line will not be allowed to be written here, to be written here, since I don't have write access. Other people do not have write access. So if I say escape WQ and it says read only option. So that option is not allowed unless you just want to permit it for others to write to it. And the way I do it, then I have to open it as root and allow it everybody to write it. Usually you don't want other people to write to your script because you might be in the middle of modifying it, somebody else could just temper it. So you only gave yourself read, write, execute. Other people that are part of your group read and execute, but not other people even write access. Execute permission, everybody, it depends on what that script does and who should be able to execute it or not. So that is one way. And why this script works for me to run it like this, t.sh. If you didn't answer that question already, here's the answer to it. Het -1 t.sh. This line tells it that go ahead, run C shell. So if I just change that to bash and say, let's say, I'm going to say vim t1.sh. Now notice on this one, I could say shebang user ben env and then bash. And then I say, for example, for num, and I could say a sequence of 1 to 10. And then say undo. And say echo $sign num colon, and then I'm gonna put this one within the braces so that it doesn't get any error. So say hello world, and then do this, and then done. So this is a small, very small script. We could do it, and then let's do some changes to it and see if what we call it. So if I just want to see all the shell script, t1.sh, cat -n t1.sh. Notice that this line says I'm using bash. So if I say bash -x t1.sh, it runs the script and it does all the echoes there. And instead of -x, I'm going to say, go ahead, run it like this, and it's going to give me the output as I expected there, right? So if I say run it like this, t1.sh, it's going to say permission denied. But now if I say change mode 755 t1.sh and I run t1.sh, it's going to run as bash. But if I go C shell and then I say run t1.sh, it's going to still run. Why? Because of the first line. So even though I'm on C shell, notice on here I'm using C shell. My shell interpreter is that echo $sign, echo $sign. It is C shell, but when I run the t1.sh, it's gonna just run the head -1 of t1.sh. And that one is saying that run as bash. So if I go to Cron shell, now PS here, notice I'm Cron shell echo $sign. It doesn't matter. So I could say t1.sh it knows that I'm using bash. And then .t.sh, it knows that I'm using C shell. I don't have to be inside there. A lot of people got a little bit confused on this when they're using different shells. Their default shell could be anything, right? So if I just log in here and say here, so ID-UN, get end password Wahid, or get end password $ ID-UN, that also gave me the same thing. And this one also, backtick ID-UN, also gave me the same thing. So if I just say, okay, I'm using bash, my PS is showing I'm using bash. If I just wanna get to another shell to run some commands, do I have to get into it? It doesn't matter. It is just all matters is what shell script you're running. So if inside the shell script you're on bash here, currently echo $0 is going to give you bash, ps give you bash, and get end password Wahid tells you that your shell is bash, right? Echo and $shell is also giving you a bash. That means I'm using bash, but if I want to run this t.sh, not this t.sh is actually head of -1 of t.sh is a little bit confusing. We say t.sh, but inside here we're running C shell syntax. So it's better to say move t.sh as t.c shell. But notice that if I do this move, because I don't have write access, I'll say operation not permitted. So how do I do that one? I could say move as a T2, I cannot move it, operation not permitted, because the other file, you're moving it. So instead of moving it, you could say copy it. Copy, create a next file, and now T2.csh has this one, cat -n T2.c shell. It is making more sense. Somebody says, I'm running a C shell, T2, and they will get the output. So just a note of how you just want to make sure that the ambiguity is gone is by naming with the right prefix. So T star, notice if I say T question mark or T star dot a star. I could do something like S here and star here to grab all of them. Depending on what I want to do, it's like if I just could have just done this one because they all start with H, SH, and you could do that one. Or you could say T star, that would cover them also, including the test there. But there are different ones. So sometimes you want to see the permission of those ones. You can do stat t sh, and then stat t 2.c shell. Notice that these files, when you create them, I'm going to clear the screen here, and then run this two command here, t .sh. Notice that two files, this file originally created, and this one was a copy of that file. Notice that change and modify and birth, the time stamp that they are created. The permissions of those ones are showing whether read, write, execute permission for everybody. I'm sorry, read and execute for everybody, read and write and execute only for the owner, for the same file as there. So this is a statistic of them. If you do file T star, you can see that they are all the except one is a directory, the other ones are executable scripting text file. And then notice for one, some of them are showing C shell, some of them are showing bash, because that's how the system is going to identify them. So I hope that makes it clear. I'm going to just say, okay, we test these ones. At some point, I'm not happy with just keeping them on my system. I'm going to say rm t1 or t star .sh star sh. Now it's going to prompt me, let's say permission denied, because I'm just ID-N Wahid, right? So if I do ls minus ltr t star, you can see that t.sh, the one that is owned by root, is still there. The other ones are gone. So now I have to remove that one as root. I'm going to be becoming root. And now on the temp, and the file is t.sh. Now I say rm t.sh, and it's going to be gone. Now t.sh is no longer there. Okay, so that we took care of it. Now let's come back here and then just show you more on this command. So I showed you this as like a for each statement, but at the same time on the web, you say, well, this is great. I don't have a Linux machine, Wahid. Can I just also run the script on your web server? Yes, you can. I made it for you so you could learn it. And here is the output. You just run it, and I give you the output on this one here. Exit code status, meaning that the script succeeded. So if I just run the script from the command line, that means the status code is going to be successful. What does that mean? So if you just run a pwd command here, the pwd succeeded, and it equal $, question mark, equal $, question mark is going to say 0. But if I say something like this and that is not found, then I say echo, it's going to give you a different number than successful, which is status code of 0. Okay, so the same thing with the scripting. If I say echo pwd greater sign pwd.sh, and then run the change mode 755 pwd.sh, and then run pwd.sh, it is just going to show you pwd. And then I could say echo $ question mark is successful. But now I'm going to say echo, this is a test, double greater sign, pwd.sh. Notice that cat pwd.sh, the last line is not commented. It is just, this is a test, is as like run this script. So that's an error, right? So if I say pwd.sh, it's going to say this line 2, this command not found. So now if I say echo $ question mark, that's going to say error generated. Now, if I correct that one, say, okay, echo pwd, and then double greater sign pwd.sh, and then in the echo command that I did here, I could say echo, let's say echo command, and then I'm gonna put this one as a single quote, and this one also close it as a single quote, because we want to say the first echo is just going to echo that one, the second one. So cat minus n pwd.sh. So this echo now is supposed to work. And if I say pwd.sh, it just did the statement did not error out. Echo $ question mark is going to give you a successful. How easy it is to just do things on the fly. And if you just say, okay, echo cal to double person pwd.sh, and then you say pwd.sh, now in addition to running the first two, it runs the output of the calendar command. Now, if I just say, go ahead, do the ps3 command, and then echo ps3 1, and then notice that this one is there, but I'm going to also do on this one a little bit more laugh out loud cat, and then just to make it a little bit nicer looking, because that's a lot of output. So cat minus n pwd.sh has this command. It's supposed to give me the print working directory. This is a test, and then calendar, and then ps3 with laugh out loud cat. If I run these commands individually, this is what this command does. This is This is a test, and then cal, and then PS3, one laugh out loud cal. But then you run all of them in one script, and pwd.sh, and say cat pwd and .sh. It's going to do the same commands in sequence. That's what scripting is. So it ran the first command, it ran the second command, it ran the third one, and then run the PS3 output here. So notice there's no while statement, no interactivity or anything. If you just name it PWD again, I was just testing, right? I don't need to just write that a name there. I could say test1.sh or something. So I'm going to remove that pwd.sh or just a test right there. And coming back to the example here, notice that status code is showing the 0. So if you go back here, show the F arguments, this is a shell script. This is a F statement, and the output is showing here. Notice on this syntax, the way I do it is I have a little bit more on my MyWebUniversity information, and then some Google banner stuff that are coming, advertisement. At the same time, I show you these ones. You're welcome to support me on some of those ads if you just feel like it's gonna help you get something cheaper. Do that one, otherwise you don't have to. But at the same time, if you want to join my channel, subscribe to my channel and share it with other ones, I would really appreciate it, because that's how you pass on the knowledge to other peoples. A lot of peoples, if they know these resources are available, they are going to be very impressed with everything that I have done for years, and I'm providing it for free online. So that is going to help you big time and help your friends and loved ones, family members as well. Here, notice that the fargs.sh, it takes two arguments. This script is taking $1 as the first argument, $2 as second argument. And then I also have a usage function. And this one, I'm introducing you to learn a function. So this is a very simple usage function. This left parenthesis, right parenthesis is basically telling it to say this is a function. You don't have to put this one. You could just say usage, that's fine. Left parenthesis and right parenthesis is start and end of it. And then echo is the statement that I'm saying that if $1 and $2 argument were missed, or maybe one of them was missed, then give a usage of $0, meaning that script name f-args.sh. This is the script name itself. This $value 1 is arg v sub 1, and this is arg v sub 2. And then echo example, this is an example, so you tell the user a little bit more friendly output, saying that this is how you should run the script with a value of 10 and 5. That value could be anything. And then echo a blank line and then exit out of the script. So if the not argument was done, you could exit 0 or exit out 1, it doesn't matter. Compare is the function that you're going to do comparison of the two value. And then right here are two comments. Then I say if value 1 equal value 2, then what you should do. Then you say the value are equal, right? The value. If it is value 1 is greater than value 2, then you do this. This LF is on the bash scripting. In this case, I'm using bash. Bash or Bourne shell on the top right here. Bourne shell. So Bourne shell, bash, and ZSH and Cron shell, they all have similar syntax. Bash is a superset of Cron shell and SH. Cron shell is a superset of Bourne shell, and bash is a superset of both of them, and ZSH is a superset of all of them, including C shell and true C shell. C shell is for C-like syntax, and true C shell is enhanced version of C shell. But with the ZSH is enhanced version of all of them, with theme provided, graphics, and not graphic, kind of like colors and other information that you could do more ZSH. So right here, you can see it is the usage function, it's there, and then the comparison is going to check in the else port. If they're not the same, then the value of value 1 is smaller than the value 2. That port is the default. If the number or of argument is smaller than 2, display usage. Okay, so this is just giving you the usage information, otherwise it runs the comparison. So how do you do this one? And notice here, I'm doing also this script. So a student, you could just cut and paste it. And notice here, I could just get this one and copy it into my script here and do it here. So let's say I'm going to call it F statement or something, them f.sh. And then we just paste it here and go to the top line here, making sure all the lines are there. Notice the nice colors, everything is there. And set and no and u, the line numbers removes. Set and u give you line numbers. So on line number 7 and 8, we're reading the input variables, $1, $2, into value 1 and value 2. Then later on, we compare it. So, and the easy way to do it is change mode, 755 f.sh. Now f.sh is there, and head -1 f.sh, you can see it is saying that run it with born shell. So if I say shell -6, not -6, actually do f.sh, that's easy to just run. Notice that it runs the function with no argument. It says, this is how you run it. So I say, okay, great. I could then say 10 and 5, and just now say the value of 10 is greater. So 10 and 50, the value of 10 is smaller. If 10 and 10, it should be equal. And then it's equal. So all the function, the comparison statements are successful. And if I just say with one argument, it's going to provide me with 5, but then I put more argument here, doesn't ignores those ones, because I need only 2 arguments. And so you could just say that the user provided the other things, so you could be more friendly, but you don't have to. I mean, the user would know that, well, it was giving me 2 arguments, I provided 10 arguments. Because you could say add argv and then read the rest of the arguments, or you don't have to, because at this time, you know that you're giving this syntax and they have to follow you, not you follow the end user making mistakes. So this is good, because here f.sh, you can see if I say 555 and 10, 10, 10, which one it is going to say, but that number is bigger. So notice that if I just gave it even by one number, like 5,000 with 4,999, that would just say 5,000 is great. So it doesn't matter what number you tested. Here, I'm just showing you some output here. So for example, if arguments, we looked at the script here, but at the same time, if you run it, it's this one, 10 and 10. It says you did not specify. Actually, here's the value. The value of 10 is equal to 10. And then the next one is 1,000 and 1,000. This is also equal. And then 5,000 and 499, that is 5,000 is greater. You can see here. And then the next one is testing of a number, only one argument, it gives you usage. Say that you're missing a second argument. And then running by itself also give you the syntax saying that you need to give more than one argument. And then notice the $0 here interpolated to the path where the script is. So it gives you kind of like I'm giving you for these examples. And I needed to just for the security purpose write my programs in a way that I created like a sandbox. So it doesn't compromise other directory than the directory I'm allowing it or not allowing it. This one is another script. So if we look at this script to compare, find out which numbers is smaller, I think it is called, the number between two integer value. To demonstrate the if else if is. This is doing a multiple else if statement, and that's also in PowerShell. So if you look at this one, cat f args $h, I'm sorry, this one cat smaller $h. This one is let me just see. I have been clicking on multiple places. Let me go to this one, cat f arguments. This one. This is the script, and then the output of that one you can see here. Cat f args $h is there 5 and 10. Yeah, actually, this one we already demonstrated with all of them. The smaller number, $h is the one that you want to see. So it is going to see which one is smaller. And if you want to test that, you click here and says the value of 5 is smaller than the value of 10. Obviously, any number you specify, it will test it, but then I don't want to copy each one of them into a script unless there's drastic changes that I could do. So this one is f.c shell. What does this one do? It is and the usage of for each and C shell. So this is the for each and C shell, which we did kind of on the other script with all the banana. And then here I said, did you know banana is called Kela in Dari language? And for C Afghanistan, Dari language, for banana, we call it Kela. So if you didn't know that, don't learn it from me. I don't know if it makes any difference knowing another vocabulary when you don't know it at all. If you know it, it's any language and you learn anything, it's always useful. So even if it's poison of snakes, having a snake poison sometimes in the hospital helps you. The statement, okay. So this one is just basically doing the comparison. I give you this as a kind of homework that you can just do this copy and make the change on your script here. So say vim, let's say t1.sh, and then paste it here. Now, by doing this one and then change mode 755 t1.sh and run t1.sh, and it's going to say a value. This is already hard coded with the two numbers specific. As you can see, t1.sh, it is those numbers specifically are giving as hard coded number. So even if I compare another number, I have no option because it reads these two values and it's going to compare it. So I want to give you a homework, test that one, t1.sh, change this one to, let's say, 50, and then leave the other one 10, and then run the same script here again, and notice that the value of 10 is smaller than 50. Earlier, it was saying the value of 5. Whichever value is smaller is going to show you that smaller value. So practice those ones, and you see the syntax, the way if a statement is compared, it's comparing if value of 1 is less than value 2. Then you could also check this one, vim, let's say the 1.sh. And then if you want to change this one, and instead of comparing the same thing for value 1 is to value 1, then this is not there. So it has to say the value 2 is, if value 1 is smaller, then value 2 say that the value is 2 is smaller. If value 2 is smaller than value of 1. So in this case, if you give it 50, 50 is a smaller, a greater than So the value of 2 is smaller. Notice the word we are saying smaller, so you cannot do something like that. And the way you want to do is change this one to greater than, and then change it all the smaller, 1 comma dollar sign, the word smaller, you want to say greater. And then compare that one. Now I change this one to greater. Now value 2 is greater than value this. So since value 2 is smaller, it's not gonna just do it. And so value 2 is greater than the value of 1. So in this case, this one has to be value 1 in the else part. Otherwise, your code is going to break. So the logic of semantic, how you do it is this one is value, sorry. I'm going to change this one to smaller. Okay, and this one is still 2, value 2. And this one is the value of value 2. And these ones are all value 1. Because we're looking at value 2 if it is greater than value 1, right? So that would say is greater, which is going to be true in this case. But if it is a value 2 is smaller, then it has to say the second statement. Now cat minus n t1.sh and run in t1.sh, it says 10 is smaller than the value of 50. Since value 2 is 10, now if I just vim at t1.sh and make value 2 100, so then the statement has to say greater this time. Now say run it again and notice cat minus n t1.sh, we changed it. So value 2 is 100 and now it says 100 is greater than. So as a practice with these values, make sure not the syntax, semantics also makes sense. The logic of it, saying that if this number is not there, t1.sh, how you just know that is correct, t1.sh. And then t1.sh. t1.sh. So cat t1.sh and then cat, that's the content. So you can see that the value of 100 is greater than the value of 50, which is correct, and then the script is there. If you do this command a few times, you get different colors there. You could also do something like this with animation -A, and it will do one line at a time, and it's going to look nicer at the display. Okay, so that is those are scripts. And then another thing that you could do is, before I go to this script here, I want to just show you, when you run these scripts, you can see that the run command is showing you the output here on the browser. So Linux scripting was one thing that I showed you that you can run on the browser. At the same time, Linux commands at the browser, right? So if you just do this one, say, what are my commands that I can get help on? I provide you this help. By typing command is equal help, I gave you syntax of what commands you can practice with, what commands I allow, what commands I don't allow. For example, if you say, give me a list of commands here, just type in list here, command is equal list, and these are list of commands, scripts that I'm making you available to do things with them. Like for example, show plus for each. So instead of command is equal help, you say show plus for each the C shell. And then the space is a plus symbol here. So you just type in here. Again, here, if you just type in help here, and then say, how do I use run for each? Just say, instead of this one, run plus for each. And that would be plus is the space equivalent here. So you just run that one and it will run it for you, and then you get the output here. At the same time, this help also you have the ls command, pwd command, and ps3 command. So like some command I want to give you, ps3 by default will give you the system D process ID there. You could also do a PS3 plus one, and will give you the same thing. And the exit status code successful, meaning the process ID were one. So here, and notice if I do a df dash df plus dash h command, you could run that df command with the readability of this. Notice here, if I say help, and then df is right here. So command is df dash h. PS3, you could type in just PS3, it would work on it. If you want to see like some file like cat etc os-release command, obviously it's a little bit more because more parameters are passed. So cat -n and then this shows you the files and kind of line numbers. So instead of typing the whole thing, I said, well, let me just make it easy, similar to an alias. You could say cat-n-os-release. You know that you're reading the content of os-release with line numbers. So I made it like this, and then when you type in this, I map it to that command here, and then it will run that command. At the same time, this one, on my web university, for example, when I do the cat command, if you go here and then say, go to the chapter 2 command here, and chapter 2 command, I said, I provide you cat command here. Notice cat etc os-release is right here with n number. So notice that you type in this one and I give you the output similarly. So you just type in this and I give you that line numbers, 13 of them. Says I'm running Linux Ubuntu long-term support 24.04. So a lot of these commands at the same time, you could get PDF technical documentation and then read more on it. And right. And then if you're on the Linux system here, you could just say, for example, I'm on the Linux Ubuntu, say cat -n etc os-release, you could see that it is Ubuntu 24.04. However, if you're on a virtual box on another Red Hat machine here that I just brought up here, so I'm going to log in here. And then once the terminal shows up, and then I clear a screen here, say cat -n etc os-release. This is Red Hat. So this is Red Hat Fedora distribution, and you can see it's actually I'm SSHing to MyWebUniversity long-term support. So if I just open a new terminal here, cat -n etc os-release, this is Red Hat. This is Red Hat Enterprise Linux. The other screen, earlier I SSH to the machine there when I log into the server. So I could run the scripts here to demo further. This interface is a little bit nicer looking than just SSH terminal that I was showing here, but it doesn't matter. It's all text and graphical interface at the same time. So hostname here, cat -n etc os-release. This is still Ubuntu, right? But here, clear screen hostname is algorithm cat -n etc os-release. It's Red Hat Enterprise Linux 9.2 in a Fedora distribution. So here's Linux 9.2 version, Red Hat Enterprise Linux. So if you just go here, and then it doesn't matter what command you use, what shell. So here you could see that I'm using bash here. And then if I just want to do some scripting here, I could just create a script on the directory, my default directory, and just run. PS3 here, 1 is going to tell you the same thing. PS3 1, and then let me see if I installed the Laugh-Out-Loud cat. No, it is. I did not install it, but I could install it, and then if it becomes available, then I could run it. Yeah, how simple it was, right? So I just installed it, and now I can run it, the command there, and then pipe more, so I could see one at a time. But then the coloring is going to be gone. So what you could do is do this and just move up and down with this, so you can see everything. And then here you could write the scripts to do, like if I do a DNF list, and then all my list of packages that are installed are going to be shown here. There's a lot, that's why it's slow. And here, if I say app the list, notice that syntax of the arguments are different. So clear screen, app list, and then word count minus L, that's a total of 93,313 apps and packages. Here, this one, if I do a word count minus L, that one is telling me it's about 26,000. So that DNF list that shows all of them on the list. And then clear screen RPM minus QA, list all the RPMs there. So if I say RPM minus QA, rep minus ISSH, then I could just get those ones. So let's just write a quick script to just do something with OpenSSH, for example. You could also do it interactive shell scripting, say, do this one, and then I could say grep minus I open SSH. So it's only showing those three. And then if I say do with server, I could just say grep minus I server only shows one of them. And then for that one of them, I could say while read var do, and then say RPM minus QL, $var, done. Now, for all the packages that are there, with the binaries are listed here, it's there. Just all the files that are there, SSHD config and everything. And so if I just say, is there a bin version of it? SSH bin, yeah, bin is there, SSD. So in this one, I could say, show me everything, and then only for grep a bin. That would just show you SSHD. And then if I just want to say, show me that one in color, that would do the same thing. Every time you run it, a different color. And if you want it with minus A for animation, you could do it, or minus F for frequency. Minus A is not defined, laugh out cut. Okay, minus F frequency is, yeah. So laugh out loud cat dash help will give you all the syntax of the arguments and everything. On the Windows versus Linux and other ones, there are different flags there that you could pass on. Make sure that you read those flags there. Okay, so this is Linux, and then the Red Hat, and that one is Linux Ubuntu. And depending on what you want to do with the system, I could show you a lot more on the scripting, but let me show you something that's already out there that I have done for you here, which was this line of the scripting here. Yeah, right here, this one. This one is the updated string 2.sh. This one long time ago, maybe I wrote this PDF version for it to just give you options of, well, if you're running like on a server with thousands of files and you want to modify certain things, the best way to do is to just say, okay, you can just update some string. In this case, I'm doing an update a string 1 to string 2. So let's say on MyWebUniversity.com, you come in on main page, and then every year when the script runs, at the bottom of the page, the about page of it, if I go on this one, the about page, the contact us and everything, all that information is, let me find out the about page. So contact right here. If you click on the contact, for example, for every page here, the terms says 2000 to 2026. I've already updated this one. So if it was like last year, 2026, this one, then you want to just run it on all files, and no matter which file you click on, and that information you want it to be showing 2026. So if I say contact us and then go to my brother page, Hamid Lutfi, and as soon as you go here on this page, you can see the executive leaders information showing, but then the year is already 2026. Similarly, if I go to my page here, a lot of these pages are in different pages under leaders, those files. So you want to make sure that they are all consistent with the year that you're doing it since 2000 to 2026. So if you are doing this one, notice that on this script that I wrote, I said every file that has some value from A to B, so string 1 would be 2024, and the year that I ran this one, I modified it to 2025. And this year I already modified it, ran it again from 2025. But I'm giving you example here to change the string 1 from 2000-2024 to 2000-2025, meaning that this script automatically goes through a find this command somewhere here, somewhere right. So this is checking, and then find command should be somewhere a little bit lower, right here. On line 36, you can see I say find directory dash name star.star. I could say star.html or star.cgi or .text or .java, any files that I want to just look for that string 1 to be replaced to string 2. Then I do a grep with -i matching the string, then put it into a while read, a lot of the stuff here, and then update the string as I find it. The set -e that I did, I could do set -ie. IE means in place, replace it. So I don't have to give it a second file. I could have done it on the file itself. But in order to do something on your production, you have to do it in a safe way. What does that mean? This line 38, I back up the file that I'm modifying first, .backup. So .back is going to create a backup just in case if you made a typo or something, you could always restore back there. You could also run a cron job to run your backup regularly. So like here, I do a cron tab -l. You can see I'm running a lot of backup system. So like right here, cat -n, and this backup script as a cron to say every month at the first day of the month, run it there, and then laugh out loud cat. This is the script that it actually does back up my system. So everything you have to be consistent and target zip it and put it into the directory there. And then if I go to cd to home Wahid, I don't want to go there because people are going to know all the details of my system. It's not good for hacker purpose. Not that I don't trust you guys, but I don't want to just make it so obvious there. I already showed you the scripts there. That's good enough for you to just learn for learning purpose. So at the same time here, the set and off. So like right here, you can see I'm doing a set comparison of the two string. And then IG is ignore case and globally and do it. So match it and then change it, and it is done. So then here is the example when I run this script and the output was shown here, but then later on the log file, I just look at the content of the log file, because inside the script I get into the log file. As you can see my log here. My log is updated string this. So on line 31, and then you can see it runs this one. Then I said how many files were there at that time was 32,053 files here. So now if I just come in here, say go to var react prod, and then do a ls-l star .html word count minus L. This is going to be only that, but if I just do minus L uppercase R recursively, and it's not going to find that. So what I'm going to do is say do a find dot minus name star .html, and then do a word count on it. That's a lot more, 53,700 HTML file. Then I say, okay, how many text files are there? Is that how many backup files are there? Like every time you just back up or something, you just do it. On the same time, if I do a ls -l user left CGI ben, and that is, sorry, find / user left CGI -ben minus name star and then word count minus L. That one is 32,000 CGI script. So, and the HTML was a lot more, and there's a lot more on the PDF file. So here, if I look for the PDF files, .pdf, you can see 54,462. So, and 54,000 PDF files, and how many HTML? So that's almost like more than 107,000 or 108,000 files altogether on the system, 108,000. But all these PDF files, they refer to hundreds of other URLs and technical documentation on the internet that could get in millions. So this is very easy grow, and you could just see the sequence of these things when you want to correct it. So if I go to home, Wahid, programs, and then shells, I have a lot of shell script here written. I'm not going to go through each one of them, but if you guys subscribe and you're interested to learn something, ask it on that kind of YouTube channel. Say, Wahid, can you help me out on this syntax, or can you just make a video for this purpose? I'll do that. But it has to meet my time and my requirements of what is my next video that's going to come out, whether it's Python or Shell or PowerShell or C or something else, cybersecurity or software engineering. Then you just have to give me time on those ones. But at the same time, I will help you out as much as I can. So here, if I go to var this, notice I have written a lot of other shell script here. One of the script is called fix string 1 to string 2. So word count minus L fix string 1 to string 2 underscore new.sh. You can see it's 44 lines. So fix underscore string 1, string 2. I could do just the .sh here. And then the new one is also there. The only difference is between the new and the other one. is a few lines of a Perl script that I want to do the set differently based on how many arguments are coming from the string one. If it is a flat one string or two string or multiple lines with some regular expression matching, so I had to do it differently. So here, if I just say, do this one with to look at nicer, and you can see here the script is written in Bash, and I'm just taking this string 2025 and changing it to 2026. And the whole script ran and it already modified it. I just showed you on my website. So it is not just that. You could sometimes say, okay, what is the IP address of this machine? As a sysadmin, you could say IP address, and then you get the address of it, right? So on this one now, I have the IP address .27, which is mapping to my public IP address. And then that one, if I want to change this one on my etc host, sometimes as a sysadmin, you're trying to say, okay, either the host name changed or the IP address changed or something, and you want to just run it on hundreds of servers to modify all those ones at the time that you have a scheduled maintenance. And sometimes you want it fast. So in order to script it to make sure it is done, you need this kind of a scripting that I just showed you. So if I go on the etc directory here and say find out minus name star minus type f regular file, this is just going to show me all files, right? But then if I say minus exec grep minus il and then say il as ignore case, and since this is and host name is I'm going to say MyWebUniversity. Let's say if I have any word anywhere at MyWebUniversity, it's going to show those files that are modified there. etc host is there, so cat etc host. And obviously, if I want to change them to something else, then I could put my Web University as a string one and then a string two to replace it to something else. So like right here, if I say host name is my tutor, my web tutor. So I just kind of masqueraded those ones with different names or mask it somehow. So hackers are kind of like a little bit confused of which server I'm doing what those things. But right now I'm teaching you to say that, let's say, if you want to try it to see if you can hack me, you're welcome to try it. Most likely you will not be able to, because so a lot of it is really robust in terms of SSL certificate, in terms of other ones, but always there's a loophole somewhere that the people may just be able to detect it. Here, like for example, if I go here, the direct path to Linux Ubuntu, and I go to chapter 5, and then I say, okay, and this is script, Wahid is giving me these options. Can I just run some commands to do something? Maybe you could do a lot of commands, but I'm preventing it by just not allowing you to do this one. And then you will see some commands are not authorized to do that. So as an example, if you run this one and you just say cat plus this, that plus and dash, and there's something like this is command not allowed. So you cannot run all commands the way you want to do it. I have to allow it or disallow it. And then similarly on chapter 2, for example, let's say chapter 2, if I just gave you this command to say run the banner command here, and notice on the banner command, I'm just giving you a lot of commands here, like banner this and new year, and then you'll just click on this one and it will give you banner 2026 and new year. And then here, if I just change this banner to banner, instead of banner, say figlet, and then dash F for font, figlet plus dash F plus big, and then dash, okay, so plus 2026. Let's try that. So if I just say font is big and the command is figlet, notice that I pass in this argument and you could do this one. Now I say, well, if he does that one, can I just do this one, pwd semicolon rm plus dash rf plus dash root. So then you specify this command. I say, no, this is not authorized. You say, oh, okay, I'm gonna just create a file there. I'm gonna say echo plus rm minus rf root plus slash temp slash t.sh plus bash minus plus dash x plus temp slash t.sh. So you just tried something, you wasted your time. Notice I detected all the thing that you typed in, and I say this is not allowed. And then you say, well, how can I add a user? You say user add, and then just say XYZ1, whatever. And then I say, no, you cannot add user. Group add, all of those commands, my program is smart enough to detect it. But at the same time, I'm not just saying that it will never be broken. Yet I have this backup. I can just back up everything. I could just say, okay, just go ahead here, run Tmax here. As of today, I will just do my backup. Now I'm on my system as Tmax. I could say run top here, and then do Control B and detach, and then notice Tmax ls. I have it there, Tmax attach. Now I'm on the top back here. If I quit out of the top and then I say run my cron job, cron tab minus L, and then this backup script that I told you, cat minus n, this one, if I want to run it as of today, and then laugh out loud cat, you can see this script is already ready for me. And then notice the blue color doesn't look good, but it is showing in the format I want to see it. That's okay. And then I could say dash frequency, and the blue is done. And dash frequency of 0.001, and that dash frequency. Okay, and laugh out loud cat dash question mark dash help dash help, and then dash F for frequency, or dash F. So it is uppercase F, that's why. So if you just do dash uppercase F 0.001, and it's gonna just write it in green color, the format that I wanted to display earlier. So you get that, and now my cron script is ready, so I'm going to do a cron tab minus L and just cut and paste this line here. And this cron, I want to run it, and I could just say, go ahead, run it. Right there, it's doing my backup. Imagine how fast it is there. Now my system is going to be up to date with all that thing. So you could write these script. It's going to help you so much, big time. Now, if I just control B here, because I'm running Tmax, I can say detach and clear screen, exit out of this one, exit out of this one, and close my browser here. Then I come back the next day or next hour or something, open my terminal, and then I do Tmax ls. It's not going to show because I'm not running Tmax as the command line with the regular user. Sudo it's u dash. Now I type in my password here, to become root. Let me just type it correctly. Clear screen, tmax ls, and it's there. So tmax attach, it's gonna just attach it back to that file there. And notice here, it doesn't matter which browser, which terminal I'm connecting to. So if I go on my Red Hat here, on Red Hat, if I say tmax ls, it's not showing anything. So command not found. But if I do sudo su dash, and then I say become root here, and I say which tmax is not installed, so I say dnf install tmax, then I want to just install it first before I use it, and it says not found, so I have to say dnf provides star tmax star to find out the repository that allow me to use tmax, and those are one of those ones are allowing it. So let's see which one is the one that I could do tmax with Ben. That way I know that exactly which one is I'm interested on. So clear screen here, and then tmax here with Ben star. So let's see if it finds out the name of the package. Yeah, a lot of them. I'm going to do one more test here, and I know it's slash tmax like that. Okay, so that one is there, and then I'm gonna say, go ahead and install that package, epal repository. So dnf repo list. I may have to install the repository, and then this way dnf install tmax session manager. Let's try this Python Nord stuff. I'm sorry, Python, copy, paste. Okay, it has a skip broken, skip and dash broken. With Linux Ubuntu, I'm sorry, with the Linux Ubuntu. What does it say? Skip broken with Tmax. What package? Nothing to do. Complete which Tmax. It's not installed. So the other one that was there, I'm going to try that one. And if it doesn't find it, the only way you could do it is to search it on the internet for the right package name. I'm going to try this one. That might not be the one. Interpret Linux 9 do explain. Some Tmax based terminal divider. DNF install explain. If that's the name of the package, and that should have the binary, but let's see. Okay, nothing provides that one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try dash dash skip broken also, that there was giving me the option. I didn't do it, so I'm going to just open a terminal here, kind of Firefox. So let's see, the Firefox is right here. Open the browser and then search for tmax package. While this one is loading, okay, it just came out as I was complaining about timing. So let's see if I could type in now. Okay, google.com. Let's see if I can search for certain thing here and say, I don't need to sign in, come on. Okay, sign me in. It's going to until go so many places. I don't want to do that. I want to just search it. I'm gonna search for uh, RAL 9 Tmax download packages. Download user and DNF. So let's see if the package is installed. Tmax wiki page GitHub beginner's guide Red Hat install Tmax terminal emulator Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Let's see if this one provides you the package name. Red Hat, when they are not supporting open source anymore, it's really make everything so hard. DNF install HTTPS release no DNF upgrade. Okay, so right here it is saying that we have to get this Fedora distribution of RPM first. And is that for version 9? Yeah, for version 9. And then DNF upgrade, and then see if we can do. It comes also as a snapd. Okay. So, and here we paste that one, and then already installed dependencies. DNF update. This update might take a while. No, it is already there. DNF installed Tmax. Okay, so that link that was not helpful. I'm going to just come back here because I was going to show you on Ubuntu, and my backup is already running there. So I come here sudo su dash this, and then I say provide the password of this one. Clear screen, and then say DNF, not DNF, Tmax ls. And notice that Tmax is available as root on this terminal also. So attach it, you see my backup is running. So whether I'm sitting in front of this SSH terminal, or I am actually on the server with the other SSH, Tmax would give me the same output here and there, you can see here. So a lot of the nice stuff that are there with Tmax this, but coming back to why Tmax is not getting installed there, I will just go on this search, google.com and Tmax for RAL 9.2. Let's see what packages I need to install. So here it says bash install DNF install Tmax. We already tried that one. -- classic is another way to do it, and that one is coming as a snap but the snap might not be on Red Hat already, and then do that one. So let me do -- classic version here, and this is Red Hat, and say DNF install Tmax. This one failed. And I'm gonna say it in -- classics, maybe. Classic -- classic is not a right parameter. -- classic, yeah. It says that it's not recognized -- classic, but on this documentation on here, it says -- class, but this is snap. So let's see if snap is working on Red Hat already as a package. Which the snap? Yeah, snap is there. So snap install Tmax -- classic. That might work. cannot communicate with server post HTTP. This one of course. Snap list. Somehow the connection for the snapd is not there. Looks like it is just hanging there. So let me just try to open another terminal and then do sudo dash. Not yes. Search Tmax. See if Snap is working at all. It looks like Snap itself is having a problem. Yeah, the connection is failing here and it's not listing and the search is hanging. So what we could do is DNF install Snap maybe or reinstall it. DNF search Snap. Snap. Snap is there, but snapd might not be there. Okay, so on here, if I say let's go clean. And then which snap a list. This shows up fine, which is snapd. Snapd is not there. PS minus minus I. Snap okay, sorry. I'm gonna do snap list. Okay, and then I say map a list snap. Snap is installed here, but on the other one is not showing us list. DNF RPM minus QA direct minus I Tmax. See if Tmax has any packages, nothing. How about Snap? Okay, Snappy is there, snapd is there, and then snapd is there. And I'm gonna say and DNF and so reinstall snapd. Thing. Even though it finds out the package name from equal not available. Okay. DNF repo list. This repo list of Red Hat, the EPAL, I have to get it configured, and usually that one is on the server under etc yum.d etc store DNF store. Okay, DNF.d and DNF is there, and then modules aliases DNF.conf. Let's see yum. Yeah, yum.repos.d. So yum.repos.d is the repository. Epal.repo is there. Cat epal.repo. Some of them are enabled, which means there's a checked one, and some of them are disabled. And the package name here, I don't know exactly the name of it because sometimes you have to have a little bit of information on the run 9 what they named it. And sometimes each developers, they just do it the way they want to do it, and they don't have any documentation like this, so easy to just find it. So let's say a Red Hat RHEL and 9.2 Tmax and repository download. available directly through Red Hat Upstream repository. Regions and this one between CentOS, Rocky, and Red Hat, the Red Hat subscription manager, and makes it much more difficult. And if you don't have your subscription renewed or something, some of these packages might not be available for him. So DNF install HTTPS del Fedora projects EPAL release 9, and then Tmax Touch version. If this RPM is the only solution, I might be able to get it this way. Yes, this package EPAL is already installed. Dependency is resolved. So then which Tmax is not showing here, which Tmax and DNF install Tmax fails. Okay. In this case, you could also provide this information to like Gemini or ChatGPT. This one, ChatGPT, would be best option there. So let me just do that one, and you could just say ChatGPT and say I'm installing this one, and this I'm not work and on RAL 9.2 DNF install Tmax fails. So you could say something like this: look how fast ChatGPT is gonna give you the right package name and that information. And the old days, yeah, you have to go to so many subscription, log into Red Hat page and find it. And then nowadays, you can see here the machine isn't properly registered, has no enabled RAL repository. So in order to do a DNF, install this RPM. First, confirm RAL repos are actually available. This is why Tmax fails. So sudo DNF repo list will give you DNF list Tmax. So we could do that first two command. We already did that one, but I'm gonna do that one in sequence. And DNF repo list, and then that's the EPAL and EPAL Open 64 and there. And then it says that run the DNF list Tmax, which also fails. DNF list test, and then Tmax, that's going to just say not found. On the Ubuntu, I already did that one, and that showed that it was there. So here on this second command here, if this is normal RHEL subscription management system, copy this one. So subscription manager status register attach auto list enable. These are already attached. I think I did it this morning or sometime today. The status and register attach and dash auto dash list enable. So let me just do dash one. Subscription dash manager list. That's why I like Rocky versus Red Hat, because these subscription are available without any accounts or anything, and you can just get them faster. CentOS was even better. CentOS and Rocky is really good. Ubuntu is even better. So this one says that it's available, but let me see with the status. System disabled, status disabled. And so I'm going to try to attach it and register it and attach the current one that I have as disabled, or let me see, enable. Okay, so it gives me argument of repos list enabled. Okay. This one will say whatever repository is there, dash dash list enable. And then the other one is attach dash dash auto. Dash dash auto. This shoot. So run and see. This is the command I want to do. Repos dash dash list enable. Repos dash dash list dash enable. This system has no repository available through subscription. Okay, so it is failing for that option. Let me just do it in the sequence that ChatGPT provides me, and if that one still fails, we just give up on it. I don't need to run Tmax on every system. So then t.sh, and I'm going to write this script. Why didn't do that? Copy here. So copy, and then where is it? Paste. God, it does not copy it. Alrighty, so if there's still an issue, I'm going to try this one and go. Doesn't copy. So if it doesn't copy this way, you could just also write it into this script. Look like my backup completed here. See that? Clear screen now. Backup is done. So I could just say go to home Wahid. Let me just say new backup, and then this minus LTR, and then right there is my backups are all there. So I'm gonna exit out of this screen. I'm not gonna show you everything, but I'm going to show you something here. Sudo su dash, and then a login here. Okay, and I need to check on the vim directory. I'm gonna say vim t.text. I'm gonna just put these lines here, and I get rid of the sudo stuff out. Says copy sudo, and then wait a minute, sudo. Yeah, substitute this one from sudo and take it out. So now those are the commands that I'm going to run. Now I know that under the text is the file of all those commands. So how do I get it here? Because I have it here, right? So under here, t.text is there. I say copy these lines here, and then edit, copy, and then come here and paste it here. Now I have it there. So this is like a kind of like you don't have to allow the display between those two machines to show it. If you didn't do it, this is a faster way. You could do it this way, or it's copy it to the server and transfer the file there. So now I have these files here, cat.research here. I want to run those and say, okay, I want to say, go ahead, execute each one of them one at a time. I could say, while read a var, do echo working on $var now, and then say and put the date in here and sleep. Actually run the command here and say run the command $board, and then after that one say sleep 1 second, and then put another date. Oops, I put the date. That's not gonna work. The D date is not a command, and then done. So I'm gonna say date here. The D date is gonna just say failed for that command, and then yeah, command not found on those ones. But other one, that one, everything is running. So what is happening here? I'm gonna get rid of these D date and then run it. This time is a little bit cleaner. However, status disabled, subscription, working on subscription registered, and the use force. So some of those options, it says that you have to register with using dashboards and other ones, which are kind of like headache. I'm not gonna bother with that one. I don't need to install this one. It's already 12:30. And I didn't need to just do Tmax on everything. On another session, maybe I will just have a separate video, clean separate video to show how to install Tmax on RHEL 9.2 and how to use Tmax. And that's going to be the topic for that video, which is good thing here. These other options and the inner clean and make a cache install -y. But notice that some of the RPM here, you have to actually get the RPM with curl from this distribution. That's the problem. Get end host and DL Fedora this, and then times DCTL RPM -GA, C certificate, and so it's a lot of stuff steps there. Okay. Even like sometimes these curl that they give you, because they're outdated RPMs, URLs, they sometimes fail. And then you just try that one and say, go ahead, do those ones that will fail. So I'm not gonna even try that one because I have seen sometimes ChatGPT or Gemini and other ones, they give you URLs that are broken, and then you tell them, then they say, oh, sorry. So you have to be very careful when you're working on production, as well as some of these stuff is not bulletproof. They are going to help you some, but not to all of it. Okay, and those are a lot of steps we just cover on this class or this session. I'm not going to continue on that one. But everything else I provide you. If you're from Afghanistan or Iran or Tajikistan and you speak Farsi, I have this channel at MyWebUniversity in Dari, which is Dari is my mother tongue. I speak Farsi, which is Dari, and then from Kabul, Afghanistan originally. I made all these videos for you. You're welcome to subscribe and join it. And if you haven't joined the channel at MyWebUniversity, please do so. And there's 2,000 videos here. There's a lot of PDF, like I showed you, a lot of documentation, a lot of videos. The videos, if you're looking for them on different topics, I have a lot of college level courses that are here. At the same time, if you're looking for popular videos, there are some of the Red Hat Enterprise Linux 9, and the whole courses there. Rocky Linux 9 is a full course, Linux Ubuntu, advanced level scripting, Solaris operating system, PDF, Bash scripting, and shell scripting, and Linux Ubuntu, and so on. God bless you. Take care. Have fun. Please make sure you subscribe, join our channel, and share it with your friends and loved ones so everybody can benefit from it. Take care. Bye-bye.